Hi, I'm Spencer Thomason and founder of Startup Hack as well as other companies. I love talking about fundamentals of being a developer, and I've been a developer for over 25 years. I've worked on amazing projects and have amazing companies, and I love talking about it. So make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. All right, I'm going to go over some posts that I found online and talk about some of the reasons why I can't stand Scrum. I agree with these folks that Scrum is a failure. This post talks about Scrum is an exercise in surveillance. There are distinct limits to the kind of creativity workers feel authorized to exercise under Scrum. Developers often don't get to weigh in on bigger questions, and those bigger questions have taken on greater importance and urgency. The Agile Manifesto paints an alluring picture. The problem is almost always the implementation of Scrum in workplaces and the difference between it and Agile and those devoted to Scrum in the bottom line, not to the worker's well-being. An example is when a project manager is caught between a promise to a client and the developer's own priorities. Moreover, daily stand-ups have become, for some in Scrum, some workers exercises in surveillance with pressure to every worker to justify their worth. Now, I say all the time that Scrum is what non-technical leadership does to try to manage and oversee technical people, and I agree with this post. It gives a framework for them to be able to micromanage. So let me talk about another post. Building a complex software is a social problem. This is a great summary about how I feel about Scrum. It's patronizing and anxiety-inducing, the degree of which is a function of the technical and social abilities of the PM, Scrum Master, whatever. Leaders with strong technical chops and high emotional intelligence exist, but they're rare. That's been one of my complaints to Scrum. The PM or the Scrum Master, or somewhere in between, hold all of the keys of innovation. By the time the story has gotten to the developers, it's been so processed in the blender of Scrum that it holds zero room for the developer to innovate. That creativity has to come further up the process chain, or else Scrum has failed, as you'll hear from Scrum zealots. Here's another post titled Trainwreck. I am quitting my current job as a private cloud engineer for a cloud provider because they thought it was a good idea to make us work Scrum. Sure, we are only plannable for 40 to 60% of our work week, but the problem is planning even 40% is quite hard when daily business interrupts just about any plan you have. Scrum tries to fit innovation into a box. It requires you to estimate, document, track, and report on everything to such a level of degree that it kills all innovation. What would have happened if Thomas Edison had been forced to use Scrum? Think about that for a minute. So here's another post. Went from being agile to implementing Scrum. A company I know used to work closely with its customers, so it wasn't a big deal to start out with flawed requirements because they could iterate quickly towards a workable solution. Overall, it was a pretty agile way of working. Although nobody thought of it like that, it was just the natural thing to do. Then the world changed and things were introduced, and in the name of becoming agile and practicing continuous improvement, think of stuff like SAFe or SPICE and Scrum on top of it, of course. As a result, those quick, efficient iterations aren't officially allowed anymore. Everything needs to be planned and documented and tracked and reviewed and approved and documented again. Meetings need to be held on all of that, of course, and this only looks like waterfall, but it isn't totally, because they call it Scrum. The company went from being agile to implementing Scrum and lost its agility. Now I love this. Scrum makes you lose your ability to be agile. It forces an org to focus on the process instead of on the people and on the innovation. And that's why we here at Startup Hack, we love training full stack developers. I implement my teams on real principles of Agile. On projects, we use KANBAN, but adhere to the principles of Agile most directly. I'm going to keep talking about this, so make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Also, have you ever wanted to learn how to program with the latest tools and build some awesome AI stuff? So check out our AI course that was built specifically for developers at startuphack.com/AI, and you can learn all of these tools to be the most efficient developer and to build some cool AI stuff to help in this AI revolution era.